All right, y'all, welcome to the Flex Zone. Tonight, we're doing a review of the WWE Royal Rumble and the NFL playoffs. Go to our Facebook page, like the Flex Zone. Comment on Twitter, Periscope, Snapchat, Instagram at the Flex Zone 1. If you have any questions, ideas, or possibly want to be a guest, send an email to the Flex Zone 1. Today, I'm in the chair for Mikel, but she, Cravante, and Byron will join us a little later on to discuss the NFL playoffs along with Glenn Thomas. But in studio right now, we have the Wrestling Realms, Dwayne Allen and Brian Waters. Joining us by phone is Ralph and the usual crew for wrestling in the building with D and Roger. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, Brian, I think we're pretty good at this thing. We keep getting invited back to be on these shows.
I know, right?
Oh,
it's an honor.
good.
It's Brian H. Waters, by the way.
Woo! What's going on, fellas? Let's get this show on the road.
See, there you go again, man. Was that necessary? Why is your voice dropping?
It is not dropping.
Okay, see, we sat and had this conversation before we started.
Before we start, though, Ralph, go ahead and state your social medias, man.
You can catch me on at the website I work for, DocSports.com. You can catch me on my Twitter at VSI.Sports. Facebook is Rafael Esparza. Instagram is Rafael Esparza. So you can pretty much catch me all over. I'm sure you guys were probably sick of my ugly face since I had nothing to do with my social media accounts. That was all my publicist this week throwing up pictures after pictures. So I can't take any blame for that. But it was a fun time. I shot a whole bunch of stuff this week, and I'm sure you guys are probably tired of my ugly face.
You're fine, man. The more you're out there, the better. Go ahead, the Wrestling Realms, Dwayne Allen.
You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Dwayne Allen 24. That's DWAYNEALLEN. You can also follow us both at the Wrestling Realm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at WREALM. Wait, what is it?
Wrestling. That's wrestling.
That's Realm. That's spell Realm first.
WREALM.
Yeah, it's Wrestling Realm with a W. The second W. Don't forget that. See, I'm not used to this, so it's him. He does it.
That's
social media,
that's what you get, Dwayne.
It came back to me.
The social media guy himself, Brian Waters.
You can follow me everywhere at Brian H. Waters. Just like you can follow all of us, the whole entire Fox family, at 1340 AM Fox Sports.
Yes, thanks to Brian Waters, the Flex Zone. You can hear us live every Wednesday from 7 to 8 on Fox Sports.
Hey.
We are Fox Sports.
Hey, I'm on Fox Sports in about 3 hours in L.A., so I have to represent Fox Sports as well.
All right.
All right. Want to make happy
That's right.
family. There we go.
One time for Fox.
All right. Fox
That's
Sports.
right. Joe Buck, baby.
All right, gentlemen. Let's get
Okay.
into it, though. The reason why we're here is the WWE Royal Rumble kicking off because this is really the kickoff for WrestleMania.
Dum dum dum.
We're not sold on this year's
No,
Royal Rumble
as
at
usual.
all. But we're trying to give it a chance. The first match is for the Divas title: Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Ralph, who will win this?
For some reason, I think Charlotte's probably going to take the belt. She's a small favorite, which is kind of shocking that she's only a small favorite on here. I think what we saw on Monday with Becky Lynch, I know they're trying to make Becky Lynch as a nice heel. I just don't see Charlotte losing her belt at the Royal Rumble. I think if she loses her belt, it's probably going to be at WrestleMania. So I'm going to have to pick Charlotte on this one. But I really like the push that they're doing on Becky Lynch now with being non-diva, since Total Divas is out here. I like that they're pushing some other girl, especially now that the Total Diva show is back on. I thought maybe they're going to push one of those girls that were on the show. But I really like what they're doing with Becky Lynch. Wish she would win the belt and maybe take the belt to WrestleMania. Maybe Charlotte wins it back at WrestleMania. I don't see that happening. I think Charlotte wins on Sunday.
So you're saying until WrestleMania, who could you see her losing the belt to at WrestleMania?
That's wide open. I still think, it's no secret that the Bellas are probably on their way out, I would say in the next couple of years, maybe Brie, maybe even sooner, just because I know she wants to have a baby, and Daniel being probably not. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't ever wrestle again at the WWE. I would not be
Don't
shocked
tell
if maybe,
Brian that.
It's okay, guys. It's okay.
He's got the yes shirt on right now.
He will be back.
I would be shocked if they maybe give her a little small push. But I think it's wide open who they're going to have her face at WrestleMania. I think Becky
Sasha
Lynch,
Banks?
I think that's the obvious choice.
You know what? She lost a lot of steam. I think her last verse, I know she's suffering some nagging injuries as well. You don't hear her name screamed out like last time we were all on here talking. They were plugging her. The crowd liked her, and boy, she lost her steam really quickly.
Just wait till she gets back.
I don't think she's WrestleMania material yet, but not be shocked if they put her in there. But I don't think that would be sold well for WrestleMania to have Charlotte and her, two girls that were maybe not even known girls, let's say 365 days ago, besides NXT and Die Harders. I think I wouldn't be shocked if they put someone else in there with the face Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Brian? Because we love us some Sasha Banks.
So, we want to comment on the match or Sasha Banks?
The match.
Oh, the matchup. Me being a huge fan of women's wrestling, looking forward to it because what you have is Becky Lynch. When you watched Raw, you saw how she manipulated Charlotte into taking this match. Mm-hmm. She basically called her out, and to the point that Ric Flair accepted the match for her. Mm-hmm. And that's old school. It's very old school for the manager to accept the match for the heel. So, but I think Charlotte wins it, and she's going to, I think, honestly, her dad will probably be banned from ringside, or he'll get tossed from ringside. But I think Charlotte will win. She'll win in a very heelish way. But I think she goes all the way. And I do think we'll get Sasha Banks versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, because right now I'm going to say Sasha is on Daniel Bryan status, where I think she's kind of being held away from TV. She has nagging injuries, but I think she's being held away from television, because if she's on there, people are going to chant for her. The "We Want Sasha" chants will happen. It's like, now I'm not going to say they forgot about her, but I could think people kind of understand, like, okay, she's hurt, so it's no point in cheering for her.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I think Charlotte wins this match naturally. I think that Charlotte takes the next step in becoming the heel, and I think she has the perfect person to learn from is with her father being her manager. It just works perfectly for me. I think this match would be one of those opportunities for Becky Lynch to show what she can really do in, I guess, what will be the main event of the women's division for this night. And I think she'll have a good showing, and I think they're trying to sort of set up all these opportunities for at least 3 of the 4 horsewomen to sort of, hey, introduce yourself and make a name for yourself, because they're going to get time. That's the biggest thing. I'm looking at this card. I'm like, okay, so it's not a lot of room, so that means they're going to get time. If anybody, I think, who needs it the most is Becky Lynch. This is probably going to make her and establish her, because she's always been on the back burner as far as Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. Becky Lynch has been sort of, but she's gotten a great opportunity right now. I think it's one of the things, okay, get yourself situated, get going, but I think she'll go over in losing in this match, because, of course, she'll probably beat the living tar out of Charlotte in old school Ric Flair style, and then somehow Charlotte will squeeze through and still win, and then act like she was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Flair did it all the time. He said it all the time. Every time I went to a territory, my job was to take their top guy and make them look like $1 million, and they will beat me to the inch of my life, and I will somehow come away with the win. And that's how, he sort of kept his team and also got somebody else, a new star established in the process.
D?
No, I think what's hurting the women's division is not a lot of continuity, it's not a lot of reasoning. We seen Paige and Natalya come back last night, but they all huggy, buddy. They like each other. We've seen these two, Charlotte and Becky, fight 3 times now between SmackDown and Raw. I know they're trying to get a story going, but it's not. To me, it's not resonating fully. I do like what they're all doing with Becky, but I guess I agree with the rest of the panel. Charlotte probably will win. Flair get tossed, and we'll probably move on to the next pay-per-view. Maybe the Bellas a challenge if Nikki can come back, and then WrestleMania probably set up with Charlotte and Sasha if she's not hurt.
Roger?
I believe Charlotte will win this match. I do like what they're doing with Flair, helping Charlotte extinguish herself from
as
the
a
others
tweener.
As a tweener. But I mean, Becky Lynch is doing her thing also. She's getting a lot of time now, and because everybody else is hurt or they're on vacation or whatever. But I believe Charlotte will win this match easily. Probably, but it will be a long match, like Dwayne said.
All right. Well, we have another title match: Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto. I think everybody will probably say Del Rio will win this match, but
I mean, I think I say the same thing as far as what I said with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. This would be an opportunity for Kalisto to really make a name for himself. He's going to get that main event exposure, because with Del Rio being United States champion, he's an automatic main eventer. So it's going to be all eyes on him. And a lot of times in professional wrestling, it's your job to make a name for yourself in making someone else look good. I think that's the biggest key. And I think even in winning and losing, as fans we look at it, but they'll say, well, shoot, it's an opportunity one way or another. And I think with the 2-week build-up, it's been a short time, but it's enough to say, okay, we want to see this match because he beat him, and then he lost the title again. And it's like, well, shoot, let's give this guy one more decent shot. And I think, I see Kalisto as being as the potential next Rey Mysterio, that Mexican star that can really take off. He's a high flyer. He wears the mask. It's the same formula, except they're starting over from scratch versus inheriting a guy who already made a name for himself, like in Rey Mysterio.
Ralph, how do you feel about Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio?
I agree, and I think they're looking for their next superstar, Mexican superstar, like they had with Rey Mysterio, and I think Kalisto could be that. He's starting to get a little fan favorite. I think that's why I hate to say it was a good injury to break up that tag team, but for Kalisto, I think it was. So now he can break away and be a single star, and I like what they're doing. Albert Del Rio easily wins this match. Shocked that offshore has Albert Del Rio only minus $5. I thought for sure this would be a minus 1,000 to win this match. I don't know. Maybe they're a little afraid that maybe we'll see a Monday Night Raw happening with Kalisto winning. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, I love the push that they're doing with him. I think that's what they need. I think it's good for with the mask and what Rey Mysterio did. The kids love it. I like the big push, and I think there's other rumors that other Mexican superstars are thinking about coming aboard now over here to WWE. So I think it's a nice push, and I think Kalisto can fit that mold that Rey Mysterio left. I know they tried to get him to come back for WrestleMania to be a surprise guest for the Royal Rumble, or maybe just a small contract to give him a nice goodbye tour for all the stuff he did. He turned it down, so I kind of like what they're doing with Kalisto now. But Albert Del Rio easily wins this match.
All right. Well, we have one last singles match, and that's Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match.
There we go. There's your moneymaker.
Who wins this match?
It's funny because all last 2 weeks, rumors, maybe Kevin Owens was going to be Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania opponent, stuff like that. But now what we saw last night on Monday night, I think maybe we might see something totally different. I still think Dean Ambrose wins this match. He's a small favorite, minus 145. I think with Kevin Owens, he can feud with pretty much anybody in that locker room and have an outstanding month or a nice feud for a couple pay-per-views. I don't think they're really worried about him losing matches and stuff like that. I just think his demeanor and how he acts on the mic and how he works the crowd, I don't think him losing a couple matches to Dean Ambrose or let's say somebody else is going to hurt his demeanor or his style. I think the crowds are still going to hate him and love him at the same time. I like Dean Ambrose. I still think they're going to make a push with him, a bigger push, maybe not with the Intercontinental Champion match. I think they keep him with the title for a while. I think Ambrose wins this, but like I said, I won't be sad if Kevin Owens loses this match because I think he's a great performer. He's excellent on the mic. The crowd, like I said, they hate him, they love him. He works well. It won't bother me if he loses, and it won't bother me if he wins. I just think he's in that zone right now where you can put him wherever you want as a filler. If you need someone to feud somebody, put Kevin Owens in there. He's going to succeed no matter who he's feuding with.
Similar to like a Bray Wyatt.
That would be interesting to see if that happened, Kevin Owens versus Bray Wyatt. But I like Bray Wyatt. I think they using him the same way. I mean, I'm waiting for Sister Abigail to come out. Who's going to be that female that's going to play Sister? I keep on waiting. I want to see if she's hot, if she's in overalls, with no bra on. Give me something.
Okay.
And did y'all catch him on Monday night in the tag match when he was commentating?
Yes.
Kevin Owens.
Oh,
He's gold, man. I mean, I agree with Ralph 100%.
I know you do.
I mean,
that's your guy.
That's my guy too.
I think we all like him. Though.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about Kevin Owens. He's been in the business for so long. He brought veteran instincts with him. You know what I mean? Once he learned the WWE style, it did not take him long to adjust. And once he got that. They're like, well, shoot, we can, like you said, we can put him in a role of a veteran that's been here long enough because there's certain little things that he knows how to do to, one, get himself over, keep the match going, tell a story. In one way or another, where he wins or loses, it's like it doesn't make a difference.
And he involves the crowd.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think he's what they call a player. He's a guy to say, no, we can go somewhere with this guy because you can trust him. That's the biggest thing. You can trust him to do things and to carry things, to carry what you need from start to finish, from beginning to end. Not a lot of guys can do that. Like you can give him a task what to do, and they might go out there and do a spot here or there, and then it's weird, ineffective. Kevin Owens, it does not. I have not seen anything bad. He's like, I saw him work matches with Ryback, and I'm like, wow, he really made Ryback pretty relevant for about 2.5 weeks.
He did.
Not everybody can do that.
Too long.
See, hey, you know, and don't get me wrong, that was probably one of my least favorite feuds. But Kevin Owens is a guy you can naturally trust, and he's great at what he does. So I think like I said, I don't think Kevin Owens. I feel like this is the same situation that Kevin Owens was when he left NXT with Finn Balor. Like you sort of say, okay, you can tell they were making it and establishing a new star, but he was that big of a star that when Balor beat him, it was like, okay, Balor's a real star, and he was able to walk away without thinking twice. And he was back on the main roster beefing with whoever he was dealing with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like right now is no different. I mean, you know, he can finish up his business with a guy like Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is probably going to go to some sick heights to really establish who the Dean Ambrose character is on the back of somebody that the people actually care about. That's the biggest thing for me. The people actually care about Kevin Owens. So it's like, oh, man, you know, Dean Ambrose is the big deal because we all know how sick Kevin Owens is, and Dean Ambrose took it to him. So I think, to me, that's why I said I think this is your moneymaker match. I think this probably steals the show.
Right.
Take away special attractions. This is heel number 1 versus face number 1. Bottom line, Dean Ambrose is, you know, the most over face in the company. This is the guy people want to see. Reminds me of telling Dwayne earlier. Reminds me of Macho Man. You know, Hogan was the guy, but Macho Man was, when you ask a lot of old school wrestling fans, you'll find, you know, today a lot of people love Macho Man. People who are entertainment fans love Hogan. So that's what Dean Ambrose reminds me of. And I think he leaves. Was it Orlando?
Orlando.
Yeah, I think he leaves Orlando still Intercontinental Champion. I don't think these guys will be in the Royal Rumble, which I think may be a good thing.
What? Are you serious?
What?
They not in the Royal Rumble?
They are now. This is our last man standing.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not trying to hear that. Are they in the Royal Rumble now?
One of them
Probably not.
Man, we can end the show right now.
I just don't, you know. I think, and that's kind of old school booking, where if you were in a match earlier, usually, depending, and I'm talking like old school 90, 91, 92, 93.
Man, it's 2016. I ain't trying to hear that. Are you serious? I had no idea.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the last man standing match. And you know what? Quite frankly, I wouldn't feel bad. I wouldn't mind this being the main event of the night. I'm looking forward to this match more than the actual Rumble, even with the title on the line. But I think Ambrose walks away.
Go ahead, Roger.
Man, I just hope these two beat the hell out of each other. They put on a good show
every
time they go inside the ring. So, I mean, I got Kevin Owens winning this. Although Dean Ambrose could come on top on this also. Yeah.
You got the upset.
But Kevin Owens, I mean, he needs that push, and this will push him to WrestleMania, I believe. Whoever the champion is coming out the Royal Rumble.
I think Kevin Owens has bigger fish to fry, if you get my drift.
Maybe he does.
Hey, I think so, too.
He made that clear last week, too.
Okay.
They did. I like Ambrose to retain myself. One thing that helps Owens, though, he stays in character all the time.
Yes, he does, all the time.
He's like Brock Lesnar. He stays in character all the time. He'll rib you on Twitter or Instagram. I mean, he's great, and both of them have good chemistry in the ring.
Yeah.
Too, and that's another thing.
They've been doing it for years, man.
Yeah.
Well, D, I actually saved you last because we have a tag team title match. And go ahead, D, one time for me.
Here comes everybody.
Do it one time for me.
Oh, yeah. Don't you dare be sour. We're going to defend these tag titles against the Usos and feel the power.
Who knows, though?
I feel it. I feel it. Do you feel the power punch?
I do.
Right, the power.
I feel the power punch.
We're going to knock the booty out.
I think everybody could agree that it's going to be the New Day.
Easy, man.
This man said the booty, though.
I mean,
that's what they say, man.
That's right.
Go, Ralph, you agree?
Francesca.
Yeah, I agree. The New Days should easily win this match. The only way I see maybe the Usos giving him is just maybe so the New Day can win at WrestleMania. I think these two are the really only two tag teams that are out there that can compete to maybe sell the tag team division right now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked if maybe they flip-flop, they have the Usos win, maybe a Royal Rumble, and New Day wins it back on at WrestleMania to maybe promote WrestleMania a little bit better, or give them a little bit more big of a push, winning a belt at WrestleMania to get that glorified win at a WrestleMania. But I just don't see them doing that. I think that'd be a smart way to do to maybe give the New Day even a bigger push to win their belts back at WrestleMania. But I think the New Day, it's got right now, in my eyes, it's the face of tag team division right now, and I don't see anybody coming up anytime soon. So I think they're going to have the belts for a pretty long time, and it's pretty sad because I remember back when I was a kid, it seemed like tag team division was always changing belts, and you always had fun tag team matches, and it seems like the last couple of months it's just been the same, either 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's
Almost
really
the last couple of years.
I'm about to say it's a really sad division.
TLC match at WrestleMania? Usos, Dudleys, and New Day?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Just a suggestion, Vince.
I
Hardy
really,
Boys.
but that'd be nice if they came back.
Is Jeff healthy? I don't think he's
Matt
back.
Hardy's wrestling his career match tonight. I don't see him beating EC3.
Come on,
Who knows?
See ya.
You never know. But I want to say, with the last couple minutes we got, the WWE Championship is being defended in the Royal Rumble match.
Oh, boy.
Only the first time like this, second time in history.
I've held my tongue long enough.
Well,
Go
let's see what Vegas is saying first.
Go ahead.
Right now, there's a tons of money coming on Triple H. He's a small favorite in some books, -125, and then Roman Reigns is anywhere between +130, +120. Brock Lesnar +220. Those two are the biggest, or the 3 favorites. Everybody else is either double digits. So I see one of those 3 winning. I just don't see Triple H. I don't know why the money's coming in. It just doesn't. That just wouldn't sell me. I think Roman Reigns goes to WrestleMania with the belt. Now he could lose at WrestleMania with the belt. That wouldn't shock me. You guys mentioned earlier is Dean Ambrose Owens going to be in there. They're both listed on here. Dean Ambrose 18-1, Owens 20-1. For me, just those 2-3 guys. I would like to see Brock Lesnar maybe. Him and Roman Reigns be the last 2, and something happens. I don't know, something crazy where maybe there is a disqualification or something, or a belt switch, and a surprise guest happens or something. I just don't understand why Triple H is even mentioned as the winner of the Royal Rumble. If I had to put money down on this, I'm probably going to say Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania with the belt, and maybe he loses it at WrestleMania.
Go ahead, Dwayne, because you said you've held your tongue long enough.
I don't. First of all, if Kevin Owens is not in this match, I have no reason to watch the rest of the pay-per-view. I'm putting it out there first and foremost.
Come on.
I really don't. This is awkward. The stipulation is different. I respect that. That's fine and dandy. My obvious pick is Brock Lesnar, although he will be a prime target. Because naturally, if you know who's going to be in the Royal Rumble, naturally you're going to figure out, okay.
Well, he was beat down last week. So
my concern is, where are they going to be surprised, or are they announcing all 30 guys up front?
I think there's going to be some
there's
surprises.
Gonna be some surprises in there.
There's going to be some surprises. AJ Styles.
Yes, that's
Okay,
one of
yeah,
them.
okay.
And they all in Orlando. So.
If that's the case, okay, I'm fine with that. But my pick is obviously Brock Lesnar. I think that Roman Reigns does lose the title. I don't think Triple H wins, but I think Triple H is the reason that Reigns probably gets eliminated one way or another.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because honestly, I don't see Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania talking about trying to break the record at Jerry's World. He's going to be you can put him there all you want, but the reality is everybody knows he's not that dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's all that's left. That's just what's call it what it is. But I feel like Brock Lesnar is equal money, because guess what? He's going to go to ESPN and talk about it, and people want to hear what he has to say because he's Brock Lesnar. You got so many injured stars already out. Why not go into WrestleMania with your biggest star right now? So, my pick's Brock Lesnar. If it's not Kevin Owens, it's Brock Lesnar.
Brian?
Well, Sunday night on another one of our 1340 AM Fox shows, the Wrestling Summit, I predicted Roman Reigns.
What? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I got to go back and watch
He
that
did.
one.
He did. If y'all didn't catch the Wrestling Summit, y'all should.
It was a safe pick. But I've been struggling with this, and I can't pick Roman again because he's the number 1 entry, and
Because he sucks.
Hey, be respectful.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you
looks
said that
like
out
a
loud.
super
Sorry, I thought I was
heavyweight,
thinking it.
but we know he's not.
Understatement.
I
15.
So I gotta go with Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna just.
He is not coming back Sunday, and you
if
know
I
it.
gotta look,
He's
if
not
I gotta
coming
make
back
a pick,
Sunday.
If I'm gonna go out, I'm going out swinging with my guy. That's
you
how.
go.
That's
Thank
how-
you.
The net breaks ain't coming back
Well,
Sunday.
you know what? Shoot from the hip, okay?
Well,
you.
while I was listening to the Wrestling Summit, they said a scenario in there about the Undertaker and Sting.
I don't see that. Don't see either of them situations.
Well,
Yep.
let me back up that Daniel Bryan theory. He's 16-1. He's at Pittsburgh this week for a card show, and Dr. Joseph Moran, who's one of the doctors for the Talent and Wellness Program, his office is in Pittsburgh. So rumblings are going that we should know his fate if he's ever going to wrestle in WWE this week. So that if he gets the okay, why wouldn't he win that?
I just hope it's a
18-1?
surprise.
I mean, they do need him right now. I can't deny that.
If AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan have a stare down at some point, I'm going to honestly admit to everyone right now, I might scream like a girl. And
I'm not saying
ashamed
it's
of it.
going to happen, but it's an instance, the scenario, and I would love to see it happen.
That's hot.
Just because I miss him in the ring. I thought it was a great performance.
Me too, man.
Yeah, bro. I've been going through it.
Go ahead, D. Give you a pick.
You know, I was on Dwayne's side with Brock until last night. Him and the Wyatt family would tear the house down at me.
Yes.
That
They
was
would
scary.
tear
I
the
did see.
house
I
down
did
at
see
me.
something about
So you
that.
picking Brock?
No, I'm not picking Brock, man. The Daniel Bryan thing ain't bad, though. Even though I did shoot it down, but that's not bad. But I do think Triple H will screw Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I
and
think so too.
I think y'all might want to hear this, but the guy that had the belt before Roman Reigns won it might get it back again. That's
He's still
Sheamus.
going with Sheamus.
He might get it back again.
Well,
I don't want that to happen, though.
my pick.
Nobody wants that to happen. Except
Well,
Sheamus.
they've been holding this guy out for a good while since he got beat down a month ago. I'm going with Triple H. I think he will screw Roman Reigns, and I think he will screw Brock Lesnar. I think in February he'll defend the belt against probably Roman Reigns, and he'll get the belt back for WrestleMania.
I think that's the main.
Hey, what, Fastlane?
Yes,
Okay.
Fastlane or whatever the pay-per-view was called in
Right.
February. But I believe Triple H will win the Royal Rumble.
Well, y'all, that concludes our Royal Rumble segment. On the other side of the break, we're going to bring in the regular crew. Get into some NFL playoffs, y'all. This is the Flex Zone, y'all. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. Welcome back. What y'all heard on the previous side was some WWE, but now we're going to get into what we do best here on the Flex Zone with the regular crew. Get into some NFL. Byron, Cravante, Mikkel.
What's up, man?
I know she's not used to, being on the other side, but what it is, Mikkel? How does it feel?
Hello.
You don't sound too happy.
She'll be all right.
New adjustments, I guess.
That's what we gotta do in life. You gotta.
She'll be okay.
What the hell? What are you laughing at? But you know what? For once, I don't have to prepare no notes. I ain't gotta get myself together. You guys don't understand how serious this hosting thing is to me.
Cravante,
So I gotta prepare no notes. I didn't have to come
notes.
prepared. I just had to come ready to talk. And you will remain the one with the L.
No, not me.
And now that I'm not a host, I'm free to reign and wreak terror totally and just say what I want to say.
I don't know about all that.
We
No,
you
know
don't. I don't know about all that.
We know how NWA goes.
That's
So if we
great.
know how the NWA Sports Report goes, then thank
Oh,
you
my God.
for unleashing the beast. I can just talk right
we
now.
only have a half an
Come on,
hour.
the only
you
thing
can't
is
talk.
that you're
Brock
too slow to my
Lesnar's the
right.
only beast here.
And that's
Brock
the only good
Lesnar's the
thing.
only beast.
Thank you,
So
D,
thank
for
you
saying
for
that.
relinquishing me of my duties. I can't wait to get my chair back because it looks greater with me in it, and that's gonna be great.
We won't even confirm or deny.
We still
Feel
got
the power.
we
Amen.
still got by phone. We still got Ralph, and joining us is Glenn Thomas. Y'all, we would just really thank you for the opportunity that we have on Fox Sports. If y'all don't know, Fox Sports, we're a close family. We talk sports. Any sports that goes on, we're always texting each other, calling each other throughout the games. And over the weekend, there was a game particularly on Saturday.
It was a couple of them. Yeah.
With the bad man Aaron Rodgers.
You mean
he's still a bad man?
And
the game, that, man.
And the game. All right, so Aaron Rodgers makes this Hail Mary.
Come with me.
Now, does he go for 2?
Or
does he go for 1?
They did the right thing.
And send it into overtime. The reason I'm asking this is because by phone we have Glenn Thomas. And Mr. Thomas, I wanted to see why you said it was the right call for them to send it into overtime.
All right. One of the reasons that was the right call to going into overtime is, one, most people don't understand and don't know that football coaches really are looking at their sheet all the time. And most coaches have a sheet, what they call it. It's called a what to do in a situation type sheet, where whether you go for 1 or you go for 2, the different types of situations where you go for 2. Of course, if you're down by 6 or things of that nature. If you really look at the game and the momentum of the game, you don't want to take a chance with your offense to go for 2 at that situation. You had momentum in the game. You tied up. You go into overtime. The only touchdown the Cardinals had in the second half was the lucky one that they got in the fourth quarter. So your defense was holding on. You go into overtime. You get a chance, and as we saw on Saturday, sometimes the coin flips your way, and sometimes it doesn't flip your way. Overtime rules is that both teams have an opportunity to get the ball, unless one team scores a touchdown first. So, Mike McCarthy was rolling the dice and saying, you know what, my defense is playing well. Offense is playing great right now. And someone rolled the dice and said that we have an opportunity to score and win the game in overtime, which didn't happen. But you don't make that call there and leave it on your offense's hands with a game in reach that you have momentum going to go for 2. It just doesn't happen. You don't do that. As a coach, you let your team win it on the field, and going for 2 in that situation is not a good call. Not in the playoffs. In the regular season, maybe. In the playoffs, nah. You tied up, going to overtime, take your chances to get the win.
All right,
and that's logically speaking. Please, Ray.
Well, let's real quick before I answer, give my rebuttal. Ralph, what is your take about Aaron Rodgers to send it to overtime instead of going for 2?
I mean, I had no question that they were not going to go for 2. I think that's just a horrible call. Try to see if you could win the coin toss. It would be a lot easier than try to go in there and try to hit that 2 point to win the game. I think the overtime rules could change now, maybe because Aaron Rodgers said that. I don't think so. I think they're going to leave it the same. But I think that was the correct call. It didn't bother me that people are talking about it. I think people are talking just to get more NFL plug on the air, just because NFL's 365 days a year now. So let's talk about why they didn't go for 2 in the playoffs when I would say if you asked every coach in that position, I would think 100% of them would say they would have kicked the field goal and go for overtime. So I just think we're talking about it. It was talked about it the next day. Just for we can talk to something about the NFL even more, 365 days, 24/7. So I had no problem. I thought that if it would have and we'd have missed it, we would be talking about that till July 4th. Why did they go for 2? Why did they go for 2? So I'm actually kind of glad they kicked the field goal and it went into overtime.
Well, I'm going to disagree with the both of y'all.
You're wrong.
Because you're crazy.
No, because I understand sending it into overtime, but the fact is, Aaron Rodgers at that point, who really thought he had a shot of making 2 Hail Marys in a season? He did one against the Detroit Lions, and then this is the playoffs. Everything on the line. Aaron Rodgers just throws the ball up. And mind you, Patrick Peterson was in the end zone defending this, and he makes it. At that point, you have the best quarterback. He has the hot hand. Why not? Your season's on the line. Go for 2. And you have the chance to beat the Cardinals and then head into Carolina or Seattle at the time. We didn't know who was facing who. But you have the chance to go into overtime and actually beat this team. I really think he should have just went for 2.
That would have been crazy.
And, it's the NFL though. This
Mike McCarthy would have lost his job if he would have.
He would have not lost his job. And yes, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL.
No, he's not the best quarterback in the NFL.
He's not.
You got to use logic when it comes down to the posting.
What are you asking? You asking is get 2 Hail Marys in one play.
let's be honest, from a football perspective, you have that when you're closer to the end zone, the defense tightens up even more. So therefore, your running game was non-existent almost. So you have to almost pass. So therefore, there's no opportunity for a Hail Mary where you can just throw it up and pray. So you have a tighter defense going against the cornerbacks of the Arizona Cardinals, where only thing that you got all night were long passes, Hail Mary plays. So therefore, you don't take that chance. You go to overtime and you take a chance to opportunity to win. Now, my question, though, is will we be talking about this if Green Bay would have got the coin toss? And
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
That's the question.
And won. I mean, if Green Bay would have won the coin toss and they would have scored a touchdown, would this conversation even come up? If Green Bay would have went down there and scored a field goal and they actually stopped Arizona, the conversation when it came up, they were like, man, Mike McCarthy made a great call. Hindsight's 20/20. It's just like that. It's just like the Super Bowl player last year. Everybody wanted to know why didn't he run, Marshawn Lynch. Well, if he would have made the touchdown on that catch, will we still be talking about why Marshawn Lynch never got the ball?
Very true.
Good
No,
point.
we would have.
Very true.
Well, our friend Cravante has some fun facts, so.
Oh man,
I was waiting for Mikkel to intro the song.
Cravante's fun facts.
Thank you.
I don't know. Does it resonate if I'm not in the chair?
It don't matter if you're not in the chair.
I'm not
Do your
feeling the
fun
attitude
facts.
right now.
Just
I'm really
right.
not feeling the attitude.
It doesn't feel the same.
Oh boy.
I will not say anything.
Well,
You
Larry
shouldn't.
Fitzgerald, guys, has just entered.
The timeless Larry Fitzgerald.
He's in some elite company, guys. That was his 5th game of 100-plus yards.
Wow.
And only 2 other guys who happen to be Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and, of course, the GOAT, Jerry Rice, Irvin has 6 and Rice has 8. And also, Larry Fitzgerald has also scored his 10th receiving touchdown. And there's also 2 other Hall of Fame receivers that only have more than him. Of course, the GOAT and Jonathan Stallworth. Stallworth having 12 and Rice having 22. One last thing. Larry Fitzgerald has done all this madness in just 8 postseason games.
And it's crazy you talk about Larry Fitzgerald like that because we were just in this position last year. Carson Palmer goes down. Last year they had a shot, and it was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were discussing whether or not Larry Fitzgerald was going to still be at Arizona Cardinals. I personally was saying to myself, okay, come on, Larry, go somewhere else. Do the whole Steve Smith Sr. impression. Go off and get mad. He stays, and looks what happens. I mean, loyalty and knowing where you want to be kind of sort of went the long way, and he became the hero of last week's game, and the timeless Larry Fitzgerald.
He's a gamer.
I heard
when
he's
it
a
counts,
baller.
when
Larry
it counts,
Fitzgerald.
when it counts, he
Timeless
shows up.
Larry Fitzgerald.
When it counts, he shows up.
He wanted it more than the Green Bay defense.
All 11 of them.
And let's go to Green Bay. Let's talk about Green Bay because, and D, you sent me a nice little post on Facebook. I appreciate that. Clapping up. You had the power.
You send him posts now?
That's right.
That was what's up.
That's right.
That's the first time
I'm
post
happy I didn't get
he
one.
ever sent me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Listen, people. When Green Bay beat the Redskins, I mean, I get it. You saw what happened. The Redskins kind of sort of could not deal with that hurry up offense, that no huddle. And you saw a team that is not used to being in the playoffs to a team that is used to being in the playoffs. Mr. Eddie Lacy, who's been called out by Mike McCarthy, now he has to lose some weight. Who tells the running back that he has to lose some weight?
Hey, man, if you overweight, tell him he got to lose some weight.
Mike McCarthy not known for shade, but that was pretty shady on the tree trunk. But anyways, back to the point at hand. Oh, the bad man is back. This is a team that went 6 for 10 towards the end of the season, had a chance to win the division, gave it up not even slightly, but totally to the Minnesota Vikings, and then they come in, they beat the Redskins. Oh my God! Look at what's going on with Green Bay. They're this, they're that, they're. Man, come on. Y'all started drinking that sauce for what?
You was drinking that sauce last week.
He was one offensive play away.
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson. Randall Cobb is not Jordy Nelson.
Randall Cobb got hurt in that game. Don't forget.
And
yes, he did.
First quarter.
And got hurt.
Has learned. He's not the man.
And Devontae Adams didn't play, by the way.
Well, I mean.
So is he really truly as bad as you put him? He's still.
Yes.
He went to overtime.
2 Hail Marys in one season against the Arizona Cardinals? Like, come on.
I mean, hold up.
And remember, how you like that?
I mean, Arizona did make it a little easier, though.
Because
they rushed everybody at him and only left 2 defenders in the back.
I mean, hey, look, it is what it is, but we got to go on to
What is it, a new version of Tupac?
Yeah, well, we got to say that because we got to go to another NFC game, which was kind of a shocker to a lot of people when the Carolina Panthers was blowing out the Seattle Seahawks.
From start to finish.
It was
From start to halftime.
Yes, the first half, it was a tale of two halves. In the first half, Carolina did their thing. In the second half, Seattle came back, but it just wasn't quite enough. Ralph, what was your take on that?
It didn't shock me. I just think that if you watch the game, I watched it twice. I watched it the second time this morning, and what I just saw in the third and fourth quarters, they just didn't. They thought the game was done already. They came out in the second half. You're up 31-0. Just look at it. Watching it a second time. If you do watch it a second time, just look what the demeanor is on the sidelines. I mean, everyone was joking around. It seemed like they were like playing flag football in the second half, so it didn't really shock me. I'm not really worried about that incident. I still like Carolina this Sunday. I still think Carolina is going to the Super Bowl. That doesn't bother me that they could have lost the game. Granted, they didn't, but I just thought the second half it was in the bag. I mean, it's a very young team. Cam Newton is a very young guy. Some of those people that they have on the field are youngsters, so that didn't really bother me that they almost blew the 31-0 lead. I just thought that it's just lack of interest, and I think the coaching staff will put them in a little notice this week and say, hey, this team, Arizona could win this game. If you're up 31-0, we could lose 34-31 against this Arizona team, not like Seattle. That didn't bother me, so I just think we're going to see a total complete game this week of Carolina, 4 quarters, not just 2 quarters.
Mr. Thomas?
I mean, you saw the game. They took the foot off the gas. I mean, and you got your life, or you got the Super Bowl in front of you, NFC Championship in front of you. You don't take the gas. You don't take your foot off the gas. You put 60 on the board. You make a statement. If they don't ever take their foot off the gas, they put 60 on the board. You never, especially with Seattle and different teams like that. And you get lackadaisical. I mean, I understand what they're doing. You take some of your starters out. You're up 31 points. You're fully in control. You take some of your starters out. You let some of the other guys play because you think that the game is over. But you have to be careful, especially in NFL, about doing that. I mean, understand third quarter, let them play. Fourth quarter, pull them. You get to the fourth quarter, you're up by 24 points. Unless all the wheels fall off the cart, you most likely win that game. And so, that's one of the things there is as a coach, you got to know when to pull back and when to get off the gas and when to keep going. One more score, 38 points, would have been good, 38-0. You really could have just relaxed. And, everybody's talking about, Seattle made a comeback. Well, when I take the foot off the gas, you'll catch up if I'm driving, right? So it is what it is.
All right. Well, we want to shift a little bit in the interest of time from the NFC to the AFC right now. We had the Chiefs and the Patriots. The true bad man, as Byron would say, is in New England.
Well, just get ready to call him the greatest of all time if he wins the Super Bowl.
Well, what was your take on the game, though, with the Chiefs and the Patriots?
I think the Patriots actually played very sloppy. Studying the film, like Ralph said, I watched the game a couple times. Played a little sloppy, trying to get the timing back, Edelman. But you just see the greatness of Gronk, Tom Brady, and give credit to their defense. They played very well, and I think they exposed the Chiefs' lack of weapons. But Patriots, like I said before the season, you would get Brady, Manning one more time. You're getting it this Sunday. Enjoy it for the 17th time. And Mile High, where Brady has struggled. And we'll see what happens. But, I think you already know where I'm hedging my bet at.
I see. D?
Okay, we have a quick factoid. It's one team that Tom Brady has struggled against.
Denver.
Don't have a winning record.
What is he,
the
2
Denver Broncos.
2-6, 2-8, something like
he
that?
Is 6. He's 6-8 all time against Denver.
Not very good.
And in Denver, he is not good at all. So, won't be shocked if he lost Sunday.
All right. Well, let's really get into the other game because this game was a little more. It seemed like a little more exciting.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Hallelujah.
Kind of a sweat breaker was the Broncos and the Steelers game. No Antonio Brown. Big Ben is hurt.
He didn't look hurt to me.
Yeah, I agree with Coach Bell.
But the Denver Broncos were somehow able to pull it off. Mr. Thomas, what is your take on that Broncos-Steelers match?
It's good to have a kicker. It's good to have a kicker.
True that.
You got 14-mile-per-hour winds going. You got a kicker who can put it in through the uprights. And I think the kicker, you saw how important an accurate kicker was in this game. You also saw how important Peyton Manning could be when the Denver Broncos are not dropping footballs. This game could have get real ugly if the Broncos make a catches early. Pittsburgh's touchdown, they had two big plays that got them down into Denver Bronco territory, which came into a touchdown. They came into a field goal. So you never count against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but with Antonio Brown, the game could have been different. Somebody stretched the field, but there lies it comes to field goal kicking and how do you finish a game? And Peyton Manning finished that game better than Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And my hat's off to we talked about Blair Walsh a couple of weeks ago missing a field goal. We should be talking about the kicker of the Denver Broncos for being perfect on Sunday.
Ralph, your take?
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. I would love to see Tom Brady win a Super Bowl and Goodell has to hand him the trophy on Super Bowl Sunday. That would be hilarious. I would, even though I'm not a Patriots fan and other, I just think that would be great to see it happen on live TV. But at the same time, I would like to see Peyton Manning just go to another Super Bowl. I'm hoping Peyton Manning's watching these videotapes of him these last couple of games and seeing some of those passes he's throwing and maybe say, hey, maybe I'm not coming back next year. That's not me out there. Granted, he still calls a great game. If they can establish the run and the receivers don't drop passes or Peyton Manning doesn't overthrow some of his passes like he did during the game on Sunday, then I think Denver can win this game. I think defense is going to be the big key. If I'm the Broncos, just knock Tom Brady. I would go for a late hit, get a 15-yard penalty in the first quarter, just hit Tom Brady. Get a late hit, 15-yard penalty, roughing the passer, just to let Tom Brady, hey, we're going to be here all day long, just to rough up his feathers. I think if that does happen, I think Denver can win this, and Brady can sit home and watch the Super Bowl while Manning's there again. I'm really torn. I'm a fan of both quarterbacks. If I had to put money on it, I'm probably not going to bet this game. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. I want to see Peyton Manning just go to the dance one more time.
Mikal?
I agree totally. I think, at this point of Peyton Manning's career, everybody's looking for him to be this immaculate guy. And let's face it, he's not that anymore. And the thing about it is, with him not calling the offensive shots anymore, it's kind of put him in that position, and John Elway being the leader of that team, putting him in a position where he just has to, which John Elway saw at the end of his career, manage the game. And you had to use that in the type of Hall of Fame caliber quarterback that he is. But let's face it, we just saw a man that thought that he was going to finish the season or finish his career, if this was his last season, on the bench. They didn't want to take the chance with Osweiler in there, and they lose that type of important game that was, and you put Peyton Manning in. So at this point, he has a sense of resurgency. He knows that, the 17th time, even though they don't want to put that as the marquee matchup, this is Peyton versus Tom Brady. But at the same time, this is a chance for Peyton Manning to kind of sort of show everybody that, one, he has to show that Brady's not in his head. It's also a mental game when it comes to playing the Patriots. The Patriots are going to do their best to take away what the other team does best. And they have to find a way, Denver's tried a way to get him around that. If Peyton Manning can manage the game, Denver can get up the middle, put some pressure on Brady, have him tap dancing back there like he's on Dancing with the Stars, and have those receivers not be in sync timely with him. This is a different ball game because all it is timely, a good pass, and them receivers running the good routes.
That's easier said than done when you got the best playing football.
I mean, it's going to be easier said than done.
Look at that fourth quarter against the Seahawks. I'm telling you, Brady it can adjust.
Not even that. Not only, look at it this way. Everybody coming into last week was like, how are the Patriots going to look? They got all their weapons together at the right time. Amendola's there. You got Edelman playing he played like a boss. He played like he was ready.
And they still look pretty sloppy.
They were sloppy.
But at the same time, they also do not have to just beat them with the defense. This is just not one thing. People think that you're going to have this one-dimensional game when you play the New England Patriots. You cannot go in there thinking you're going to go sling for sling with Tom Brady, and you cannot go in there thinking, I hope Kubiak is not thinking that he can out-coach Bill Belichick. You have to be able to have another element, special teams.
I just got one thing. What is the weather going to be like in Denver?
Because
if it's cold as heck, I don't see Peyton Manning throwing nothing.
Look what the Philadelphia Eagles were able to do.
current weather is supposed to be in the 30s, winds anywhere between 10 to 14 miles.
Oh, then
The way he was throwing last week.
Oh, boy.
But it's not even that. That's the
reason.
reason they won. They run because they were able to run the football, and I think the Patriots are very good at stopping the run.
And the defense
too.
pulled it out. But, I mean, you got to have another element. Look what the Philadelphia Eagles were able to do. Granted, they had no offense in that whole game. But they showed I don't want to say a weakness.
Sam Bradford did enough.
Sam Bradford did enough. They showed some weakness in the special teams, and they played defense. You have to have a complete game against the New England Patriots because you deserve to win that game if you do that. Don't just think it's just going to be one thing. Do something different.
I'm just saying, I see this guy, Tom Brady, holding the ball not even 2 seconds.
They didn't even touch him.
Not even 2 seconds. And the
Jersey
Chiefs
was white.
are not any scrubs when it comes to the pass rush.
Exactly.
I agree with Ralph. You got to you're going to have to do something to show Tom Brady that, hey, if you're going to win this game, you're going to win this game on your back all game, or you're going to have to win it fighting through us. You have to put that, I don't want to say fear factor, because it's not like Tom Brady's going to be afraid of anybody, but you also have to show that we came to play too. Denver has to have some confidence. Now, granted, you don't want to vote against the Patriots. They're the freaking Patriots. Who wants to do that? However, Denver.
All right. So, AFC, I'm going to go around the room. Who represents the AFC heading into the Super Bowl? I'm going to go around. D.
Thinking about this one's been tough. I'm going to take Denver. I think Denver has enough to win.
I'm taking New England because I don't trust Peyton Manning.
Mikal.
Denver. And a hard one.
Cravante.
Oh, man.
Be wise here, Cravante. Come on.
I'm going with the New England Patriots.
Thank you.
Byron, I already know you wrote.
Yeah, I said this before the year. Just keep it moving.
Okay, and if the Patriots lose, what's your new plan of action after
They
that?
lost. Okay, they playing. They would lose. Okay, but I don't see it happening. If they lose, then come talk to me.
Well, let me
But
get my phone.
you're
guest on real
downplaying
quick.
that because they are.
Well,
they are able to lose. Like, come on now.
Let me get my phone guest in. Ralph.
I'm taking the home dog. They're +3. I'm going to take Denver +3. The public's betting New England. It's my 3 minus 20. You're going to tell me I'm getting even money on the +3 with Denver. I think the public's going to bet New England and Tom Brady all week long. I'm hoping and praying they move it to 3.5. I'm taking a home dog. I think Peyton Manning goes to a Super Bowl.
Mr. Thomas?
I'm going for New England, man. I like to see Tom Brady give Roger Goodell the middle finger by getting the Super Bowl.
It would be fun.
That
would be hilarious.
It would be nice. In the NFC, I'm going to do the same thing. Mr. Thomas, who do you got representing the NFC?
Arizona Cardinals. I
Oh.
think Arizona Cardinals beat Carolina Panthers.
Ralph?
Mr. MVP going to the Super Bowl. I like Carolina.
Mikal?
You go 15-1. You have to finish your job. It's your MVP season. I know Arizona's a tough thing to crack, but you must at any point win every game that's going along.
Cravante?
Arizona. Been on this train, been driving this train all year. Arizona Cardinals.
Byron?
I was going to go last, but I think Seattle exposed some things that Carolina struggles with defensively. I'm going with Arizona and their weapons to win over the Panthers and Carolina.
I'm going with the momentum. Cam Newton. I'm on the train.
Roger?
The only person on Arizona that I trust is Larry Fitzgerald. I don't trust Carson Palmer. I'm not sure if Mr. Johnson is coming back. Chris Johnson.
Not to the Super Bowl. Not to the Super Bowl.
The monkey's off his back, though.
They said he's
The
healthy,
monkey's
but I'm
off
not
his
sure.
back.
He can't come back to the Super Bowl.
That
Okay,
playoff
well.
monkey is off Carson's back.
I'm going with Cam because I've been saying Cam's name all year, and I believe he's going to the Super Bowl, and I believe he's going to win the Super Bowl.
My pick, I said when we did the new picks, I was going to go with New England.
The new picks. What was your other pick?
Whatever.
Yeah, okay.
New England and the
Dallas
Cardinals.
Cowboys.
However, I will say this. I wouldn't be mad if it's New England and the Panthers in a rematch. We've seen this previously in the Super Bowl. This time, of course, Carolina has
like a decade ago.
Of course, Carolina has a better quarterback round, but it really seems like destiny for Carolina and New England to just meet in the Super Bowl.
And this is the first time since 2008 all top 4 seeds, the top 2 seeds from each conference have made it to the conference championship. So.
Oh, yeah, quick fun fact. In the NFC, this is the first time we're having 2 number 1 overall picks as well as 2 previous Heisman Trophy winners.
Playing against each other.
Well, thank you for that. Thank
They
you.
come from Alabama.
Thank you to our guests.
Well, I'm gonna go. Before we go, I want to give you guys the Super Bowl matchup numbers. If these teams match up to the Super Bowl, this is what the betting numbers will be. If it's New England versus Arizona, New England's a -1 point favorite. The total will be 50.5. If it's Arizona Denver, Arizona will be a -3 point favorite. Total will be 45. If it's Carolina, New England, which I thought was very interesting, I thought New England or Carolina would be the small favorite. New England would be a -1.5 point favorite, with the total 48. And if it's Carolina, Denver, no respect again for Cam Newton. Carolina will be -3, and the total will be 43.5.
Interesting. Well, Ralph, we definitely want to thank you for giving us those numbers. We want to thank Glenn Thomas. We want to thank the Wrestling Realms, Brian Waters and Dwayne Allen for being on. Thank you, everybody. To hear our show again, check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes. Go to our Facebook page. Send us an email to theflexzone1@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Periscope at theflexzone1. Also check out our YouTube channel. Our executive producer is me, Andre Melton. Our associate producers are Gervonta and Mikkel. Our intern is
Matthews.
Corey. And we want to thank everybody again who tuned in to us via Periscope. This is the Flex Zone, y'all. And just like that.
Peace.
We gone.